candles.
Yeah, yeah. I have, I mean, one thing that we all know is that culture doesn't move without history, you know, and each one of us has had our reinforcements in history, you know. We look at history to move ahead, you know, and perhaps I can say that very few people vocalize it, perhaps, you know, that we all take references, and that's one reason why I did want to put footnotes in my works this time. You know, wherever I've taken a reference. In this case, in this set of works, it's literary works mostly. And earlier I've taken visual references as well, and I've spoken about that. And there was a work that I did which looked at one of Anita's very early sculpture, and it was called Desert Queen. And she'd hung a velvet fabric which was cut out in the form of a leopard skin, and it's hung in space, and it's called Desert Queen. And I really, at that point in time when I was struggling with work, that work really empowered me, and I did a homage saying, I did a homage in a way that I could return back that strength that or if not return back, articulate the strength that I received from that work. And so the work that came about was a desert flower that I made, which was like an ambiguous structure which was androgynous almost form, and it was called Desert Flower for Anita. You know? So there was a use of conscious and very deliberate use of velvet in that, you know, and her work was really like a dark midnight blue, and I kind of used velvet which was very light blue, you know, which was very day color. It was a very day sky blue, or desert sky, you know. So it was a very conscious attempt to understand that we cannot live without history, and we take a lot of inspiration and understanding, or perhaps lessons or meaning of our contemporary through history. So, I mean, and then there have been other follow-ups as well. There have been other people I've referred and moved. And there's always this constant back and forth, this shuffling. And literature at this point has been most resourceful to me to understand my times and life, especially literature that I've quoted in these works.
Exactly, this whole entitling of abrasion and erasion.
Yeah.
Hand embroidered on Jen's handkerchief.
Yeah.
And it has references to the body, such a powerful designation of a hand drawing, where there's no palm and no shoulder. It's just a very powerful hand, dry. And the number 2 is scarred and damp, cold.
Yeah.
Would you like to say a few things about it?
This work was a series of 8 works, and all the words that I've put inside the frame, they are all words that have relationship with skin and textile. So damp is what you call skin, damp skin, as well as damp cloth, you know. So all these 8 words have relationship, and I'm kind of bringing out certain textual elements that are common between literary language, between the body, and between material like cloth, you know. And thus the imagery has this, and handkerchief being the first point of entry within textile, where it's very intimate to the body, it's used for cleaning and whatever, you know. And yeah, so it was also about wear and tear of skin and cloth through labor, you know. So abrasion and erasure, thus the title of the work, where I'm kind of structuring certain words towards this understanding of wear and tear of body and cloth. So dry, damp, scarred, all of that, yeah.
Answered my question about the body and text relationship.
Okay.
As we enter through text, and so I can go on actually. There are so many things which I would like to ask about the process, because they are so large scale, and while the display goes on, you must have further very intricately within this space.
A lot of things were clear. Also, I mean, working with theatre really helps you to imagine spaces, you know. I mean, you are given the least amount of means in theatre, you know, because theatre doesn't have that kind of funding, and you have to, because it's a large team, everybody is getting paid an amount, so stage design is not their priority. You know, a theatre practitioner knows that they can do without the stage. So all the ego of the artist comes down, you know, because you very well know that you can be removed anytime without any loss in that sense, and you have to work with really limited means, and perhaps it's a good fortune for me that I could work and in fact generate some content for theatre, you know, visual content for theatre. I mean, I felt lucky in a way to be able to what is the word, like you could contribute. You could contribute in the process of thinking, because a lot of times directors have very clear understanding and they just want some props to articulate for a stage design, you know. But here it was a little different. There was more lack of clarity was there, which was good in that sense, and I could participate as an artist then. So I mean, scale then becomes secondary. You are thinking through forms and space, and scale comes only as required. You know, you're working with really small to really big without thinking of big and small, you know. And that helped me in the gallery space, that imaginary zone. In the studio I don't have that kind of space, but I had this imaginary idea that I'll be able to work with shadows, light curtains, be able to build on white spaces in a way. And floor plan helps. Yeah, floor plan helps to kind of conceptualize the space. Yeah, we took 2 days to install.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.